You know, we hear the words human rights and fairness thrown around all the time, right? But what do they actually mean when you get right down to it? In this explainer, we're going to unpack these huge ideas, take a look at why they're so incredibly important, and figure out the role we all play in making them a reality. Okay, so before we dive into all the official definitions and stuff, let's just start with a really simple personal question. What does it actually mean to you to be treated fairly? It's more than just a word, isn't it? It's this deep down feeling, a core human expectation, and it's pretty much the foundation for everything we're about to get into. All right, to really get a grip on that feeling, we've got to be on the same page. So let's lay down a couple of key definitions that'll act as our guideposts for this whole topic. So, first up, human rights. Just think of these as the absolute rock bottom basics, the non negotiables that every single person gets just for being human. This covers the big stuff, like having a safe place to work, getting paid what you're owed, and, the fundamental right to just be treated with respect. And fairness? Well, that's where the rubber meets the road. It's how we put those rights into action. It means we're actively fighting against discrimination and making sure that the respect human rights demand is something everyone experiences every single day. And look, this difference is so important. Human rights are the what, the big, universal ideas we're all entitled to. Fairness is the how, the way those ideas actually show up in the real world. So you have the right to fair pay, that's the what. And then you have getting the same pay for the same work, that's the how. See, one is the promise and the other is the proof. Okay, so why are we making such a big deal about this? Because let's be real, we're not just talking about words on a page here. These principles have a huge real-world impact on all of our lives. When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one super powerful idea: dignity. Human rights and fairness, they're the guardrails we've built to protect our dignity. They're really the foundation for self-worth and for respecting each other in any society that actually works. Because what happens when we don't have that, the alternative? Well, it's pretty devastating. When these basic ideas are ignored, you get abuse, and abuse harms lives. That's not some abstract concept. It's a direct attack on people's well-being, their ability to make a living, and their entire future. And this is exactly what happens when that system of fairness just completely falls apart. You see these awful violations pop up: child labor, forced labor, discrimination baked into the system, people not getting paid fairly. These aren't just one-off problems. They're the direct result of a world where basic human rights aren't being protected. And that right there leads us straight to one of the most important places where this all plays out: the workplace. So what exactly is a company's job in all this? What's their responsibility to make sure things are fair and rights are protected? Look, for any company that's trying to do the right thing, there's a pretty clear playbook. It starts with the absolute minimum: follow the law. But it can't stop there. True commitment means you have a zero-tolerance policy on things like child and forced labor. It means you build a system that treats every single worker equally. And it means you make darn sure there's fairness in how people get paid and their chances to move up. So, when you put it all together, what does a fair workplace actually look like? It's not some vague idea. It's a place where your pay and your opportunities are about how well you do your job, not who you are. It's a culture that doesn't just tolerate diversity, it actually respects it. And this is a big one. It's a place where the rules are clear, they're consistent, and they apply to absolutely everyone. Okay, so we've talked about the big ideas and what companies need to do. But, and this is a big but, this isn't just on them. It's also about the power that each and every one of us has every single day. This is where every single one of us comes in. We actually move the needle on this stuff by just respecting the people we interact with every day, by being brave enough to speak up when we see something that's not right, by choosing to support companies that are trying to be ethical, and honestly, just by caring about the people around us. So I'm going to leave you with this question. I want you to really think about your own world, your job, your school, your community, and ask yourself this: is fairness just a nice to have, something that's a good idea? Or is it a fundamental need, something that's absolutely essential for any society built on dignity and respect?